Good morning, everybody. Okay, let's get started on this podcast. The topic today, the fight against illegal immigration. So, what is ICE? Everybody's been hearing about ICE and ICE going and taking this person, ICE going and taking that person. So let's start with a little background of ICE. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement was formed in 2003. Okay, it's not something new here. ICE didn't just pop up. As part of the Department of Homeland Security, its job, what do you think? Enforce immigration laws, track down undocumented immigrants, dismantle human smuggling rings, and protect national security. I don't think things have changed. It's just that we were complacent for so many years, and I'm going to get to that. But when most people hear about ICE, they think of one thing: raids, arresting innocent people, arrests, everything. ICE has two major branches: ERO, which is enforcement and removal. Operations, they locate, detain, deport who are in the U.S. Get this word: illegally. Not legally, illegally. Okay, so if you are here and you did not go through the proper channels, you are illegally here. It's pretty simple, guys. So their mission to capture illegal aliens who violate U.S. immigration laws and remove them from the country. You know, nowhere else. There's no other countries. Oh, hey, come on in. And would you like a cup of coffee and a couple $1 million? Like, seriously, right now? They put them up in fancy hotels that I can't even go into right now. So, really, let's move on. But ICE mission isn't without controversy. Controversy and challenges of ICE. So critics argue ICE method can be aggressive and harmful. What are you supposed to do? Hey, can you hold my hand? Come with me, please. They're illegals. Okay? I'm going to touch base on that in a minute, but raids at homes, workplaces have drawn public backlash. This is what all these fights are about. About you picking up Mr. Jones that's been here 25 years and he is illegal. So he broke the law. It makes him a criminal, but I will get back to that. At homes, workplaces, families are sometimes separated. Community trust is often strained, and everybody is up in arms. The Democrats are up in arms. How can you separate these families? Well, the families can go. Because if this dude's illegal, the family might be illegal as well. Who knows? Here are some of the key challenges ICE faces. The legal loopholes, which in many cases get tied up in lengthy court battles. So some people don't even go to court for years. Sanctuary cities. Some cities refuse to cooperate with ICE, making arrests much more difficult. Not impossible, though. Political pressure, policy shift with each administration, leaving agency consistently adapting to new policies because it's a new regime. The reason I say regime is because sometimes that's the way it acts, but, you know, it's getting a little out of hand. People are like, there's some of the bad people that really come across the borders back in the day. We're talking to, somebody else was president. I'm both right and left, as you guys know, but I'll get with that. ICE operates in the legal gray area sometimes, balancing enforcement with respecting human rights. The public rarely sees how complex each case really is. They don't know what's going on. They just said, oh, hey, you know what? You're protesting. I'll come with you. I have a friend who is an illegal. Is that right? Really? You know, when I worked for a big company, and I'm not going to mention the company, but I worked for a big company, if your green card expired, you were fired. If you didn't have a green card, a valid work permit here legally, you can't work for that company. I remember they had to have all their ducks in a row, all their paperwork in a row. Now, it's not a big deal because I know somebody like currently that they knocked on the dude's door and he showed them all the paperwork and they said, okay, sorry to bother you, sir. You have an amazing day. He had all his paperwork. He was here. Plus, he's a nice guy. And not just because he's a nice guy, but if he was here illegally, they would have to send him home and he can come back legally through the paperwork. I'm going to give you my true thoughts at the end of this. This is real stories from the field, by the way. Every day is unpredictable. Every day is unpredictable, and we might be tracking violent criminals one moment, and the next we're arresting somebody whose only crime is overstaying a visa. It's not always just black and white. You know, if you're overstaying a visa, are you breaking the law? Technically, yeah, you are. Your visa expired. If I was driving a car, by the way, and this is where I was born and raised in America, if I was driving a car and my license expired, I'd get a ticket. I'd get fined. Just think about that. You know, ICE agents often encounter traffic, just human trafficking stories, people fleeing violence, seeking better. It's just a better life for themselves. But, you know, it's a broken and a very broken immigration system, but I also captures dangerous individuals, cartel members, human traffickers, and gang leaders, and just murderers and junkies and things like that. But I got to tell you, they also, not everybody that comes across the border are bad people. I knew many of them, and they're really nice people. But they have to do it the right way. In the fiscal year of 2023, ICE removed over 142,000 individuals, including many convicted or serious of serious crimes. Convicted of serious crimes, 142,000 people. Insane. The debate over ICE is a hot as ever topic. You know, whether you support or oppose the tactics, one thing's clear: ICE will continue to play a major role in the work of removal of illegal aliens. It's not going away. The thing that bothers me, and we had this discussion, okay, so I'm just going to put it out there. The things that bother me about this is, I'm going to use a Spanish name just for profiling purposes. So Jose came here illegally 15 years ago. He's been working hard his entire life since he's been here. And seriously, you're going to take him back. Never broke the law. Never broke the law. He's just here illegally. You know what I think they should do? Is honestly, I believe that what they should do is take Jose, bring him to an area, have him do all the paperwork, make him legal, So all the taxes are being paid, all that. And I know what you're going to say. Well, they're paying their taxes now. That confuses me. If you're here illegally, undocumented, no documentation whatsoever, and you're in a cornfield somewhere and you're working, and that, because I know that's lots of what they do, but how are you paying your taxes? There's no proof you're ever making money. So I honestly, my personal opinion is believe that the undocumented, illegal immigrants are not paying their taxes. Now, what makes somebody a criminal? I'll tell you. Okay, if you come here undocumented, through a border, through a fence, through barbed wire, you're illegal. What does illegal mean? You're a criminal. So all these people that are complaining, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? They did nothing wrong. They're criminals. They don't have to be mean criminals. They don't have to be bad people. But in all reality, they broke the law. As I would, if my license expired, I would be breaking the law. I'm a criminal at that point, and they have a right to give me a fine. I can't just walk into Ukraine or Russia. I can't even walk into Canada. And that's our neighbor. I can't walk into Canada and expect that I can just go in there without a passport. Well, if I went in there without a passport, I would be an illegal, a criminal. So here's my plan. Comment below if you agree with it or you disagree with it. The undocumented people that are here in America at this point, if you are not a violent criminal, if you are not having a rap sheet, or that you did harm to somebody, or you did harm to your own family, or you stole something here, or you just this criminal, you belong to a gang, you do, dealing drugs, whatever it may be, you need to go. And that's where I should come in. Goodbye. Have a nice day. You're going to go. But the guy or girl or family that has been here for 15 years and working really hard and doing their stuff, then you know what they should do? They should take those people, group them up, let them fill out all the paperwork, similar to what my grandfather did on Ellis Island, and say, okay, these are the rules, these are the laws, sign here, and here's a social security number, and you're going to be paying your taxes, and you need to be held accountable. So you will then be legally here. I don't think that anybody should be deported if they've been here 15 years, are good people, work really hard, pillars of the community. I don't think they should be deported. We want to get rid of the criminals. That's what we want. We wanted to get rid of the people that are going to kill other people. And don't tell me you don't know about what's going on, because it has been going on. So you just take them and you deport them. No questions asked. You're gone. But these sanctuary cities, for some odd reason that I cannot figure out, I really can't figure this out. Why would you want a criminal? Now, I'm talking about a violent criminal, murder, rape, drug possession, robbery, all these things that they did. Yeah, you come to my estate and we'll take care of you. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to put other people that are good, law-abiding citizens in harm's way? I don't get it. I don't get Newsom from California saying, okay, this is a sanctuary city. You can't come here and get rid of all our evil people. We like them. Why do you like them? There are some theories out there, by the way. And these are theories. These are not necessarily my theories. These are the ones that are out there. Let's get all the illegals in so they can vote. They want people who are undocumented and not legally here to be able to vote. Okay, well, if you become a U.S. citizen, I guess you can vote. But if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can't vote. But they wanted them to vote because the Democratic Party thinks that they would win then if all the undocumented workers voted. Well, I don't believe that's true. Again, I'm neither Democrat or Republican. I am Republican, but I was an independent until I found out I couldn't vote in the primaries, and then, of course, now I had to pick one. So that's a sanctuary city to come in, no problem. But I can guarantee you, Newsom does not want these guys sitting on their front lawn, even on their block, even in their town. Somebody else's town, that's fine. There has to be an answer to how this is all done. And I believe that it will be ironed out. I just heard yesterday President Trump talking about, okay, we don't need to get rid of the good people who are here illegally. We need to find some sort of way to be able to make them legally here. They haven't broken laws. They've been here 15, 20 years. They're hardworking people. They're doing jobs that the Americans don't want to do. And you know what? I used to get pissed when people said that. I don't get pissed anymore because it's actually true. In whole, Americans are fairly lazy. They don't want to sit out in a cotton field and pick cotton. They don't want to, do all the drudgy work or even the landscaping work. Because the Americans are lazy and they're wasteful. You can hate me for saying it, but you know it's true. All those people out there know it. They're from the Gen Zs all the way to the baby boomers and stuff. Yeah, no, I gotta tell you, they don't want to do those jobs. So now the farmers have no workers. All the landscaping people have no workers. Now, I'm not saying to stay illegal here. Fix it. The good, hard-working people, have them fill out all the paperwork. Have them held accountable. Have them pay their taxes. We'd love to have them. We really would. That is what America is about. It is a massive melting pot. But now it is a massive melting pot of people who kill other people. Those people need to go. Comment below on your thoughts about this. You can agree or disagree, or we can agree to disagree. It's okay. We should be able to have an intelligent conversation. That's another thing you can. It's always us against them. No, it's not. Have an intelligent conversation, and you can agree to disagree. But we shouldn't be enemies because I'm one person and you're another. That's silly. It's not the way it is. Not the way it should be. It is the way it is now, but it's not the way it should be. That's my thought of the day. What's yours? Have a great day.